Hi, this is Julie Johnson from Birth and Breastfeeding Solutions. I wanted to offer another tip. Let me explain a little bit about tongue ties. Now, everybody who knows me personally knows that that is sort of, that comes out of my mouth quite a lot. I am fascinated with them. I'm fascinated how they impact breastfeeding. And there are a lot of things and a lot of components about it. And I see it by the time someone calls me. Of course, that's the first thing I'm going to look at in every baby and make sure that that's not a real issue. And sometimes I find it to be our secondary issue. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about what the research says and a little bit about my thoughts on it. So research says that tongue ties, and again, those of you who may not know what a tongue tie is, it's just having a tight frenulum underneath the tongue. So these babies that are not going to get treated will tend to have other issues. The dentist will catch it later, or they may have speech issues or whatnot, and they could have feeding issues. They can have sleeping issues, actually, suck and swallow issues, a whole lot of other issues. Research says that they should all be addressed. They should all be clipped. And again, that's not my opinion. It is research. So that is something that I would consider, is to have at least have a specialist evaluate it. Now, what I have noticed when it comes to, or what's really not what I've noticed, but also what I've seen in research, there are I think there's 5 types of tongue ties. So there's the 2 classical ones, type 1 and type 2. There's also a 3 and a 4 called a posterior tie. In fact, the type 3 is also called a posterior tie. And then we have a submucoso. Submucosos are really the strange ones. I hate them when I see them. You're going to still have a little speed bump underneath the tongue. However, and you may even see a heart-shaped tongue when the baby cries. And if that baby is having a hard time with the suck, swallow, and breathing while feeding, whether with a bottle or with the breast, it's really, really time to get that evaluated. Now, those are the ones that I maybe want to talk about. And because those submucosos are really hard to diagnose, the pediatricians will say, I've never heard of it, I don't know what to do with it. And if you go to a pediatric dentist and possibly an oral surgeon or an ENT, they're going to put these babies under for something like that. And I do find that the research shows that these babies should not be put under for any of these types of tongue tie, especially the first 3, never ever should be put under. So the 4s and again, I call it kind of like the 4.5 or 5 tongue ties, these submucoso, these get in the way. So the mom may experience some soreness and continuous soreness for quite a while. And these babies are really poor, lousy transfers. So they don't transfer well from the breast. And so moms are either going to lose their milk or they're going to need to keep pumping in order to help these babies along. Some moms have so much milk to feed the entire city, they may not have necessarily such a problem with losing their milk, but this baby will struggle that whole time with that, trying to swallow when we have such a short tongue. We need a tongue to help us swallow. And so it's really important to always address these tongue ties and decide, do we clip this? Do we not? Let's watch. Sometimes I'm watching and kind of let's observe and see if things get better, and we help the mom and the baby compensate in other ways. So other times I'm sending them off to my oral surgeon, and only because I have one oral surgeon personally in the Valley that doesn't put these babies under general anesthesia. So I would certainly never want to send any baby, and I used to before I knew that there was a couple of people here in the Valley, here in Salt Lake Valley, where I live, and I know some of you are going to be watching this and not being in our local Valley. So you really need to, if you feel like your baby has a submucoso or a posterior tongue tie, keep looking around for someone. And I've had people get plans to leave the state until they found the right person. So they are throughout the United States to help you. And I would encourage you to call around to an ENT, oral surgeon, pediatric dentist and ask what is their protocol when they are clipping a posterior tongue tie for an infant. And if it's under general, then you need to move on and not waste your money. So anyway, I just wanted to share that a little bit about that tongue tie. And no mom should ever live with continuous pain. And no baby, there isn't a baby out there that I really want them to struggle with that suck, swallow, and breathe, and and having that gasping, and possibly some of them turn blue. So it's really important to address it, pay attention to it, find somebody that knows what they're doing, and the answers are out there. And I have actually found the best information for our moms. Number one, American Academy of Pediatrics talks about this. They have a great article. You're just going to Google, or you're going to go to aap.org, and then you're going to put in this little search engine, right there on the website, posterior tongue tie, and Catherine Watson Jenna will come up, her article that she has written along with some other experts about tongue ties. And so I'm not telling you anything that's not already in research, and I would encourage you to look there to get more information and encourage the educating yourself. The other way to get really great information is just to Google posterior tongue tie, mom forums or whatnot, and all kinds of moms will be sharing their story, their heartache of not being able to find somebody to help them or understood these types of tongue tie in relation to breastfeeding. Most of them, the majority of them, screw up breastfeeding. I'll tell you that right there. That's my opinion. The research will back that up, and something to always consider. We'll talk about more tongue ties at another video, maybe next week. But I just wanted to again talk about these type 5s or the submucosa, which again is so far back. And hopefully, again, if you have any questions, to seek it out. Again, the internet's great on it, and look at the research, look at the medical journal articles that are on this particular subject. I have had some medical professionals really discount what a tongue tie will do to a breastfeeding relationship, as well as, again, ongoing issues. And so, bless their hearts, that's all I'm going to say. Just know that the research that I just pointed out to you, I don't like to argue with research. And also what I observe. So this research and all the research out there and what I've observed coincide. So this is Julie Johnson with Birth and Breastfeeding Solutions, and go and have a great day.